I just like to say, this idiot, you've been in the bush, but you've only been around where people are always there all the time. There ain't going to be no animals there. You get out in the Venezuelan jungle, and you're going to run into every kind of fucking thing. They would have killed you if you're lucky we found it. You know what lives here, man. You know it.
What
don't
lives
say
here?
You don't. Well,
You know about it? The caima, the puma, the leopard, the ocelot? About 50 different breeds of poisonous reptiles? Are you aware of this? How long have you been around here?
14 months, Father.
The anaconda?
I'm not aware of all of it.
36 foot long? Can crush a horse in seconds? Don't you think you old water commodity? You didn't know about the great mammoth water commodity? The land commodity on top of it? Didn't you think you should have told your brother this? Tripping out in the jungles? Did you not think that this government is our ally?
Yes, Father.
Well, what did you think? How did you manage to think you were going to get in Venezuela with the government alerted? I've alerted every person in this government, from the Prime Minister on down. The Border Patrol said if you tried to cross, you'd be shot. How did you think you were going to get out of here?
I can go down there by the Burima River and stay down there.
Because they've all been alerted. No boat would dare pick you up. It would have been a violation of law. All the canoes.
Coast Guard already notified you to come up and down the river looking for you already, so you didn't have a chance in the world.
You think I've located in this jungle, knowing all the scalawags like you that have done this shit before, after we've been through Leon's lies? We knew that wasn't sufficient. If Leon could make it even though he's a vegetable, that wouldn't be enough for you people. We knew there'd be others. So we had firm working alliances. We wanted Leon gone, because we knew he was babbling idiot by the time they found him. Talking about fighting in World War III. You heard all that. So we wanted him gone. We didn't want his big fat ass around. And the government said that it's lucky they weren't handling him. Anybody got any questions to ask these assholes that have taken all of our workforce today, spread out, got the Guyana Defense Force alerted, the Coast Guard alerted, the Border Patrol alerted, the Prime Minister's Secret Police alerted. Anybody have any? Minister of Agriculture alerted, and the Deputy Prime Minister alerted, and the Commissioner of Police alerted, and the Kaituma Police alerted, and the Matthews Ridge Police alerted, and the GNS alerted. Picked up, and it was a law that you had to be returned here. Anybody who violated it would be in trouble with the federal government. Anybody got any questions to these characters? Stand up and look at your fellow comrades. Stand back and let them look at their fellow comrades. Yes. Tails. You know that. Did you tell him that? If you picked up by jail, speaking against this country, speaking against black, speaking against socialism, going to Venezuela, did you bother to tell him about the cat o' nine tails? Why didn't you tell him about the cat o' nine tails? You weren't thinking of it?
No, Father.
To speak subversion against this country, to leave parent and home, to violate law and be out after curfew, you'd be eligible for 39 stripes with a cat o' nine tails. Yes, he had a good design in watching him. We have made a vow. We have met too many pigs. We've met too many snakes. No, there's nothing in the human book, in the animal vocabulary that describes humans. We've met too many capitalists, mangy capitalists, vomitous capitalists. We've met too many of them, and their past shenanigans. You are not going home to that fascist Babylon until our people are here. And then we'll be glad to be rid of the likes of both of you. You want to tell us how this plan got concocted? Of course, you might as well know we have already a great deal of information. You want to tell us how it got concocted and what your plans were and exactly who laid the plan and who encouraged the person to begin it?
Father, we talked about it on my front porch and in the back there in the kitchen. Back there, that's how it got together. It was just the day after I got brought up.
And brother, you need to be standing up here because you allowed this to happen by putting him in charge of somebody else. You ought to stand up here and assume responsibility for letting this character. You ought to know better to put them together. God, how this could have ended. 5 or 6 days after we dragged you out of a jungle. How this could have ended. Because you'd have finally had to go to the jungle. Because every government, you'd have been evident when they were stopping to pick you up. How do you suppose we know where you were? You passed 2 government people. They informed us. All the natives informed us. We now have high-powered CBC units that evidently you're not alert to be aware of that travel miles. I don't really know what's come out with you idiots that you couldn't have more sense than this. Just how did you expect to get out of this country, you say? Go on the river?
I plan to go down to the Barima River and live down.
And what were you going to do when you got to Marimba River?
Stay down there and fish, live off the land right there.
Live off the land down there?
Yes, Father.
In capitalist Venezuela. This socialist country will bring in an Air Force plane and give us free service when somebody's in need. Like our brother was paralyzed. Until I healed him, we couldn't cancel it. It was too late. When Brother Williams was healed, and the same as Brother Swinney, he was paralyzed from a stroke. Brother Williams was paralyzed from an industrial accident, the boom hitting him. But they come in here free and take them out back to the hospital. In capitalist Venezuela, well, the revolution's not complete there. They found you there. You'd be held until you could pay your way back. They'd hold you in a jail. There's no floor. It's something like Devil's Island. The jails here are humane because since the revolution, they've made them humane for youth. But they're still a cat o' nine tails. And I think they must know what they're doing because they're socialists and they still choose to use the cat o' nine tails. I guess we'll have to get the cat o' nine tails to be in conformity with the law. And believe me, if you get whipped 39 times with the cat o' nine tails, you will be carried out. This is goddamn proof that Mao knew what he was talking. That there's only one way to change people. It's out of the barrel of a gun. Okay, now what are you going to do when you get down there? You're going to live off the fish in perpetuity? Immortally? Eternally? You're going to live off a fish there in Venezuela?
Yes, Father, and to find a job there or something.
Find a job there. Why, you've got a job here, you've got free medical care, you've got free housing, and if you qualify, free education, it could send you to the Soviet Union, to any... Of course, you're a capitalist. You talk openly about this. You want to get to a capitalist country. You too?
No, Father. My plans were to go to Venezuela. My plans were to go as far as the ridge or something like that and then live around there.
Why, Guyana, don't you know that this government, I'm a personal friend of the leader of the party, of the Marxist-Leninist party. I'm a personal friend of his. I've done missions for him. You idiotic fools, you all better be listening. Don't you know that he wouldn't allow that? You'd have been picked up and brought to here, and if you didn't come here, you'd have had to go to jail. How do you suppose I've been able to survive with all the conspiracy and fascist pigs that have been on our backs? The government's with us. The only people that are venturing in here are coming in from Venezuela. Conspirators that are paid assassins, are kidnappers. But Jesus Christ, this government's with us. I'm a friend of the Minister of Immigration. We were able to lay every problem. We had a few problems from the conspiracy with customs, and all it took was one phone lifted up, and now everybody sails through like there was no, they were the kings and queens of state. We had to have a strong government behind us because they were determined to hound us all the way over here.